So, all right. So my name is Brenda. I am well. You can call me Delxbredah or Brenda or Brenda P. Zote ni zangu. I will assuredly respond to any that you refers me to. Anytime, any place. All the time. I'll just respond to hate. So today, I am here to handle a topic that concerns so many of us, especially the teenagers, we the teens. Nisisi, we go through this thing very much. Many of the times that somebody may realize, yes, I am going through transaction. How much many of us won't realize, by the way. At times, zenye happen, many of us don't realize. And so that is what I want to handle. And what is this that I want to handle? It is the transition period. Well, I will start with the definition of the transition period. Transition period means closing of one chapter in life and beginning a new chapter in life. And this is where a very major transition occurs. Transition can be expected or unexpected. It can be chosen or imposed, and again, it can be gradual or a sudden one. And hapo kwa sudden and gradual, you get that there is this change that will just come mara pap, and it occurs, and you just have to cope with it. It has happened. It didn't give you any notice. It just occurred. Well, so you don't have to run from it. Transition is a period that you can never run from it because it has occurred and you have to face it. So I start with the 4 types of transitions. One, it is emotional. As we grow up, the way that you're reacting over some things when you are some years old, like 3, 4, 5 years old, like 10 and below years, you cannot tell me it is the same way that you will react to that issue when you are still 10 to 15 years. I don't really see how I cannot come and pinch. By the way, when you're 12 years, I may come and pinch you and you won't cry. But while you are 3 years, immediately I come and pinch you. You will have to cry to prove to me that Brenda, it is okay. I felt the pain, so I need to cry, and literally you will cry. But imagine 18 years old person being pinched and crying, unless you're too emotional. The second type is the physical one. This transition, it is of a must. There is that age that you comes to, and it just has to happen. Even if you don't want it to happen, you will have to see it happen. If you are a man and you feel uncomfortable with a beard, if that period comes, it is a physical transaction period. It doesn't matter what. The thing is that period has to come. And you won't prevent it. If the beard has started growing, it will grow. And there is nothing to prevent that from growing. Ladies, when those hips start emerging during that physical transaction period, you don't have anything to do about them. You will just stop and let them grow and emerge. When pimples start showing up themselves all over your face, you have no other option other than just to let the transition period off. It is the physical transition period in our lives. And then there is intellectual transition. This, as we grow up, our way of thinking changes. The way you thought of things while you were below 10 years, it is not the way that you think while you are 18 and above years. So there is also a transition period. And the other one is the physiological transaction. You go through a lot in your body. A lot of things are pumped into your mind. You need to balance a lot of things at the same time. So you are going through this transaction period, and there is like nothing, completely nothing that you can do to avoid this period. The only thing that you can do and do yourself a favor, it is going through the period, acknowledging, yes, it has come. This change has come. So what do I need to do? I have to acknowledge it, say yes to it, and find how will I cope with the challenges that may emerge. Look at the positive signs of these transitions that is happening to you. Look at the negative side. Bring all of them together and think of the best way out, the best way that will suit you. Well, you see, most of transition brings and begins with strings of losses. You get that you lose, there's the loss of a role, what you used to do when you were 10 years and you felt this is the best thing for me. You find that time, all of a sudden it disappears. So you've lost your role. When you're 12 years, you have to start another role. You get so many anxiety, like, oh my, now what? What is this role? How am I going to go through this role? What am I going to do in this role? You're getting me? The second thing is that you yourself loses yourself. There is the loss of your sense of where you fit in this world. During transition period, especially for teenagers, this thing is really hard. You sit down, you feel like there is nowhere that you feel like you can fit. And whenever you feel like you can fit, when you go there, you find yourself not fitting there. Maybe you think that when I go to church, at least I'll fit there. Well, you carry yourself to the church. When you get there, you don't fit there. You feel, no, I ain't comfortable. Nothing is doing well. You get confused of life. You feel like staying alone will make me feel good and better. Okay, you go and stay alone. When you go and start staying alone, you feel too lonely. Thoughts camp your mind. Your mind is pressed like this, and now you start wondering, oh my, no, this it ain't what I wanted. Like, you lose your own sense. Because there is a place that you're coming from. You are at the center of the place you're coming from and the place that you are going. You develop so many anxieties and worries. Reason being, you don't know after this level of transition what is going to happen to me. So you live in worries and anxieties because now you're going to take up some new roles. Maybe be in a new place. You will need to adapt to some new things that you weren't used to. And now you're feeling, no. Like, you get challenged. So many challenges succumb you. But the thing is that you don't have to give up. Again, you don't have to stagnate. Again, you need to be sober. You don't need to go and buy a bank kit and come smoking. You don't need to rush to the bar, to the club, and buy a bottle of beer and come drinking, thinking that you're relieving yourself. It will just make you forget for some minutes, and then after some minutes, you just get yourself there again. It is not an issue to avoid. It is like something that you have to cope. It is something that you have to go through. It is a stage of life and you cannot avoid it. It is a major stage of life and you cannot avoid it. One, when you are in primary school, you get that it comes a time that you need to transit from primary school to high school. That period there, it is confusing. You lose a lot of friends. You make a lot of friends again. You lose yourself. You do things that you even saw you will never do during that period. The way you used to behave in primary school, I don't expect you to go and start behaving the same way in high school. So you are challenged. How will I start behaving in high school? What will I do in high school? You develop a lot of worries in you. You develop a lot of anxieties in you simply because you don't know what next. And this is where, by the way, most of the transaction brings challenges to many. Then I go to the stages of life transitions. To successfully move from one stage to another, you must experience these stages. One, you will experience a range of so many negative feelings to an extent that you feel, I no longer want myself. Like you feel, no, it is enough of myself. It's like I am getting confused of my own self. You develop mood swings. You don't want to even talk to the favorite people that you got in your life. You feel, no, I don't need them. You feel like staying alone. It is okay. You stay alone, but still you feel, no, this is not what I wanted. Like there are so many negative feelings about yourself, about your family, about your friends, about the places that you've been. You develop so many negative things. Again, you feel loss of self-esteem. The grade that you weren't given yourself, you feel, no, I don't fit here. But now, if this happens, the thing is that you have to begin to accept that change. You acknowledge that you need to let go of the past and to welcome the future. You start living in your present now. To avoid so many anxieties during this period, by the way, all you need to do is live in present. Let off your past. Stop worrying about your future so much. Just live in the present. And somebody said, for a better tomorrow, you need to start working hard today. So, if you want that better tomorrow so much, let it not worry you. Just do what it requires to be done for a better tomorrow. Stop working what you should be working tomorrow. Just work what you should be working at that time. Then begin to feel hopeful about the future. Have hope about your future. Think about something very good about your future. Give yourself, motivate yourself. Tell yourself, I just know this is how I've planned my future, and I know I must land here. Just motivate yourself every time. Motivate yourself now and then. Again, feel increased self-esteem. If your self-esteem ain't lowered, if it ain't gone low, now start feeling as if it is now going up. It's rising. If it went up to 50%, now let it start increasing 60, 70, and let it not be so high or so low. Let it be moderate one. So in transition period, you face a lot of challenges.